podcast party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Renascence. We're finally here. Hellturel, the city that was dragged into hell. As soon as we arrived, we met a mother and children in need of rescue, and then we were ambushed by devils. Now we're trying to get to High Hall Cathedral, the only place in the city that might be safe. I turn to Reya and the woman that we've just rescued, and I say, "What's the fastest way to the temple?"
Reya says, "We're on the eastern part of the city, am I correct?" And she looks at the woman, and she nods, and she says, yes, we've been trying to make it to High Hall, but we ran out of food, and my children were hungry, and of course these devils, they're all over the place."
It's all right. What's your name?
My name, it's Harkeena.
Harkeena, here. I will give her some rations.
Yeah.
And I say, split that with your kids. I just need you to take a deep breath. How far a walk is it to High Hall?
Oh gosh, if we made decent pace, maybe an hour? We'd have to go across the bridge. And I don't know what's over there, but if these things are all over the city as they were, I just don't know.
I turn to Corbin and I say, seems like it might be a bit of a journey to get to High Hall. We're all a bit beaten up. I think maybe we better heal up.
Right, I'll start a prayer. It will take about 10 minutes.
All right, I'll keep an eye open.
Okay, can we maybe just not right in the middle of the street? Like, I noticed there are a lot of ruined buildings around. Can we just duck into one of these buildings?
Absolutely, yes.
Hey, there's a building to our left. Do you want to go in that?
Yeah, let's duck in.
All right, you guys duck into the ruined building. Just as you do so, the whole ground sort of rumbles very slightly. You feel a little bit off balance. You all sort of look at each other, and then the rumbling stops.
I turn to Harkeena and I say, what was that?
She says, "That's been happening ever since we got here."
Does it ever get worse, or is it about the same?
No. It's definitely gotten worse. That was just a small one.
Great.
Did it feel like an earthquake kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah.
If I look up into the sky, does it seem like we moved? The city moved? Like maybe down?
It's very difficult. You look up in the sky, the only thing that you can see is just red. There's no clouds, there's no sun. It's just a smattering of red and black in the sky. So it's going to be very hard for you to make this kind of an understanding of distance and or location. But I'll allow a check if you'd like. Make a survival check with disadvantage.
Right. That would be an 8.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to be sure.
Args, any thoughts on that tremor?
Gargauth responds.
"Oh, the mighty have deigned to speak with me. How wonderful."
Listen, Gargs, I know you're sulking. You didn't get what you wanted when we arrived. But in the meantime, we're stuck with each other. And if the ground crumbles underneath my feet, I'm pretty sure you're coming with me, and you're going to end up down in some crevasse where nobody's going to dig you out. So all I'm asking is, if you know something about the tremor, let's have it.
I personally know nothing other than the fact that the ground shook under your feet, and you all were in abject fear for about 1.2 milliseconds.
Dogs don't know.
That tracks.
Yep.
Okay. You see this clearly dilapidated, cracking edifice, what you would assume to be some kind of a house. There are furnishings of a sort that seem to be relatively well made, probably middle-class income abode, but there is just dust and debris all over this place.
Right. Corbin, is this all right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pray, keep a lookout.
And Corbin's going to start a prayer of healing.
Okay. Lulu flaps over to you and lights on a chaise lounge next to you. And she says, "What are you doing?"
We're healing. We're a bit beaten up.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
Praying to Ilmata, the god.
Oh, okay. I got you. That's great.
Do you know who Ilmater is?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know who El Mater is. If you all need some healing, I can help you out.
Oh,
Really?
Oh, yeah, honey. I can do that kind of stuff, too.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Can't do that much, though. I can do it a couple times a day.
well, every little bit helps.
Save it in case someone goes down in a fight, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, good thinking. Hylan,
Yeah.
so it's going to take 10 minutes for Corbin to get
Yeah,
this
I'm going
off.
to keep an eye out.
Well, no, I'm thinking, can you toss the place? It looks like rich folk live here, and maybe something got left behind that we could use.
Sure. I start carefully rifling through things.
Okay.
And Ofelia and I can keep watch.
Yes.
You look through the belongings of whoever lived here. You see some relatively nice goods, textiles, clothes, no jewelry, no gold. You assume that whoever lived in this house was maybe a weaver, because you see these nice tapestries on the wall.
Oh, no, don't touch it.
Trigger warning. Sorry, tapestries.
Certain death.
But beyond that, no finery.
Okay.
Any silverware?
There is a couple of pieces of decent silverware.
I'll take some silver just because we might need silver.
Okay.
I'm going to step out of the building and just sort of look up and down and around and keep an eye out.
Make a perception check.
Guys, that's an 8.
You don't see anything in the immediate vicinity, Hylan. As the prayer of healing that you are casting goes off and you guys sit in the sort of healing light of Corbin's spell, none of you feel it working at all.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right, I'm done.
Corbin, did you I mean, you know your business, but did you say all the words right?
It's Klaatu Verata Nicto. Did you get all of them right?
I mumbled the last one.
Basically, I said them, yeah.
I wish I could do Bruce Campbell. Okay.
Lulu sort of looks at you and she says, Hannah, what was that brilliant light? What was that? Was that one of your spells?
Yeah, we should have healed, but
Oh, no.
I never say the words right, but they still work.
Lulu sort of puts one of her paws up to her mouth and she telepathically says, oh dear, I'm super sorry about this. I've got this sort of thing going on. I don't know if you felt it. It feels like, when y'all met me, it kind of felt like a big warm hug, like a kind of aura.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
that was amazing.
I have a sort of special ability about me. Can't really turn it off. It's called an aura of invulnerability.
Right.
I mean, it sounds amazing, right?
Yeah.
So what?
Anything around me that's like within 10 feet of me, any spell up to a certain amount of power, if it's cast from outside and it affects anything inside my aura, it don't work.
That's good to know.
Right. Important tip.
All right. Should have known that, 10 minutes ago, but all right.
I'm super sorry. I didn't know. I mean, it's real useful for things that are going to try to ping you from outside.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise
Yeah.
it's great. So,
Yeah. So it's just sort of a double-edged sword. That's important to...
I can hang out like about 20, 30 feet back if it's all right with you. Let me think about this. Okay, well, y'all have to come inside my aura, because if you do it outside and it affects anybody inside my aura, it's not going to work. So everybody come in real close.
oh, okay, that's even
And
better.
then it should work.
I'm uncomfortable being this close, but all right.
So you all sort of cluster around Lulu, and she looks over at you, Corbin, and says, are you going to do that thing again? I mean, I can do what I can do, but it's only really for one person.
It's okay if Lulu's here. We'll be quiet.
My spells are slow, so we'd have to stay like all crumpled up
Yeah, no,
together.
what I was hoping, Lulu, is that you mentioned earlier that you could heal. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think since Corbin's didn't work, now would be a good time for you to do that.
I certainly can. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to somebody. I'm going to give them a little touch with my trunk. And it's going to feel real nice. But I need to know who I need to heal. I can only do 2 times a day.
I will take care of myself.
Hylan looks pretty banged up. Get her
All right. And she flitters over to you, Hylan, and her trunk touches your shoulder, and she casts Cure Wounds, and she cures you for 9 damage.
Lulu, thank you.
Oh, 'tweren't nothing, darling.
All right. Now, I have another spell I'm going to cast, which won't take, 10 minutes, because I'm worried about sitting here too long.
Yeah.
But you need to, stay away from us, however far your aura is. Not that I want you to leave. I don't want you to leave. I like you.
It's all right. It's all right, honey. It's okay. I'll just float outside. I can even be a lookout.
Oh, all right, but you got to hide. Don't fly out in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, maybe just fly over there in the corner.
Oh, all right. I'll just fly off over here in the corner.
You want a hug or something before you?
Oh no, that's all right, honey. You don't need to. It's all right. I'll just go hang out in the corner. It's fine.
All right, that's good. I'm uncomfortable. Okay.
And she slowly flaps over to the corner and flops down.
All right, Corbin's going to try again. He is going to cast Aura of Vitality. So it's a 30-foot radius. So I'm going to make sure I'm at least 30 feet from her.
Yep.
So basically, I can do 2d6 of healing 10 times.
Cool.
So who of us is wounded?
I think everyone. I'm down 18 hit points.
All right, so this first one's going to be you. 6 points. Is Ofelia wounded? Does anybody know?
Yeah, she is at 27 out of 33 hit points.
Oh, she's fine.
How about Reya?
Reya's pretty banged up. She's at 37 out of 58 hit points.
All right, so that's 19 for her.
Close to full for Reya. 56.
Okay, and then I'm going to do another one for Ren. Another 5. And I'm beat up, so I'm going to do 2 for me. That's 18.
I'm still down a bit.
All right.
This is riveting podcast work, guys, we're doing here. I just want to let you know.
Sorry. Another 2 for you, Ren. You need more?
Okay. Yeah, give me one more.
The fans are just waiting. Here we go, fans. And that one is another 2. I got 2 more. Who else is still wounded?
Right, I'll take one.
All right. Hylan gets 1.
Whoa!
10.
Boom. Big 10.
Yay!
Ofelia gets another 6.
There you go. She's at full.
It's amazing.
All right.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you, Ilmata.
If everyone's all right, I think we should head for that bridge that Harkeena mentioned.
Are we going quiet like?
Yeah. Good point.
Reya says, listen, I know you guys don't know exactly where you're going, but I think it's important to at least know where it is that you are. That map that Silvira gave you, you have it, right?
Well, here's the thing, Reya. I'm looking at my Roll20 handouts, and I don't have it.
Okay.
That's the thing.
I haven't given it to you as a handout, but it was a piece of equipment that she did give to you.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Excellent. Okay, hold on.
Unfurl it.
Yeah, you unfurl the map of Hellturel as it was before it went to Avernus. Now, Hellturel sat on the Chianthar River, as Baldur's Gate did. So, in this map that you unfurl, you see the city of Hellturel. It's sort of a half-moon shape. The lower portion of Hellturel abuts the Chianthar River to the south. You see that portions of the Chianthar sort of flow in along the eastern side of the city, all the way curving around the northern side of it to a space called Maiden's Leap, which then seems to move directly against a long, almost promenade of trees, almost at a
like Central Park.
Yeah, like a cylindrical or rectangular, very long rectangular park called the Garden. And then directly to the south of the garden is definitely a large edifice, sort of a fortress, which is indicated by the words High Hall.
Do you know whereabouts we are?
Judging by the state of the buildings, I'd say we're perhaps to the east. Harkeena, you know the city. Are we near Shiara's market? And Harkeena looks over at Reya and says, yeah. I'd say probably about here. And she points to an area of the Hellturel map that's about 3 or 4 blocks north of a large open span called Shiara's Market.
So where's this bridge that you mentioned?
Harkeena's finger traces west from where you supposedly are to a portion of the city that, for some reason or other, doesn't seem to even have a bridge located on this map. And Harkeena says, this must be a very old map. It doesn't even have Torm's Blade or Torm's Reach on here. Oh, this must have been pre-Spell Plague.
What's Spell Plague?
Both of them look at you, and you can make a history check if you want.
A 6.
You have no idea what Spell Plague even means. Those two words mean something, but together, not so much.
May I also make a history check?
All of you can if you'd like.
It just sounds bad.
Well, great. I got an 11, so I must know everything.
You know a little bit. You know that the Spell Plague was something very, very bad and it affected the entire world of Toril, but a little bit before your time.
Okay.
I got a natural 1, which I think reflects the fact that Renascence actually doesn't care. Okay, so we've got an old map. Got it. Want to head west of here, where there's a bridge. What's the bridge over?
Well, and Harkeena looks at you in a very terrified way. She says, well, the city is floating in the air, hundreds of miles above whatever the hell is down there. I hear awful noises coming from below the city, the sounds of shrieking and cackling and growling and roaring, and just hundreds and hundreds of voices. I don't know, but I'm assuming there are more of those things below us.
I don't want you to focus on that. I'd like to focus on the bridge. You called it Torm's something?
There are two of them. Torm's Blade is one, and Torm's Reach is another, a little bit north of it.
Which is the sturdiest one and the widest one?
I would guess Torm's Blade. It's also the closest to us.
Fantastic.
Anything else you can remember about the bridge that's important?
Let me think. Hold on.
Who guards the bridge? Are there guards?
I haven't been there, so I don't know. I mean, I would assume that the Elder Guardian soldiers did it at one point, but now with everything going on, I don't even know.
You haven't crossed it since the crisis?
No. I don't live anywhere near Torm's Blade. My children and I live east of here.
What can you tell us about what's happened over the past 10 days?
10 day? What do you mean 10 day?
No, since Hellturel came here.
That was only yesterday.
What's happened since yesterday?
Oh, God. It was awful. These creatures started flying in from everywhere. The sky turned dark. The companion just lost all of its light. And there was this enormous rushing sound. And then all of us just felt this enormous boom. I looked outside, the sky had turned red, and these creatures started flying in from all sides. They picked people up, and they started flying around with them, cackling and screaming, and And as she does so, her children start crying. They're very small. They're maybe 2 or 3 years old, and they huddle together with her.
I'm gonna lean down to the children, and I'm going to make light in my hand and say, "See that?"
They do stop crying. One of the children, a little girl, sort of looks at your hand and she says, "Oh, white."
Yeah.
I will use thaumaturgy to make like some music box kind of tinkling music to go along with that effect.
That's light from Celestia.
Celestia?
Yeah. They're gonna protect us.
Who is Celestia?
It's a place where angels live. And dragons. No, they're good dragons. They'll protect you.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah. 12.
Okay. The little girl stops crying a little bit. She has these enormous brown eyes and she looks up at you and she says,
You seem scary.
I'm scary?
Your eyes are scary.
Oh no, they're just different. You don't have to be afraid. I know sometimes things that you've never seen before can be scary, but have you ever seen a really pretty sunrise? It's a nice sunny day.
Yeah.
You know how you look up and the sun is golden and bright and it's warm?
Yeah.
That's what my eyes look like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to be afraid. We're going to help you.
The older of the two girls, she looks like she's about 4. She is staring at Renascence.
Uh-huh.
Harkeena looks over at the little girl and says, "It's okay. It's okay. They're here to help."
Yeah, I know I look kind of scary as well, but I'm one of the good ones. You don't have to be afraid of me.
She hasn't said a word.
I put my hand on Ren's shoulder and say, he's a good guy. It's all right. And I give Renascence guidance for persuasion.
Go for it.
See that? I point to the symbol that Ofelia painted on my breastplate. Anyone wearing that is there to protect you. So if you're feeling nervous, just look at that eye on my chest. Right? As long as you can see that, safe. I will try to make a persuasion check.
When we were in Baldur's Gate, he used to make soup for everyone. He makes really good soup.
Yeah, my soup's pretty good. That'll be a total of 19.
Yeah, the older girl looks at you, blinks twice, sort of buries her head in her mother's arm for a second, and then slowly her eyes come back to you. And you're able to see just a very small smile appear on her face as she's looking at you, Renascence.
Yeah, there you go. It's all going to be fine. Now listen, Torm's Blade's a closer, bigger bridge. If we was in Baldur's Gate, I'd say we might try the sewers to escape notice, but I think, given the circumstances, it's probably best we keep above ground, since we're not quite sure what's going on down there. But we should still try to be as stealthy as we can.
Okay. If you are stealthy, you will go slower. It's worthwhile mentioning that.
I think if everyone agrees, I think that's a risk we should take.
Yes.
Agreed.
Okay.
I want to say to the little girl who I was talking to, you want to play a game?
Okay. What game?
We're going to go to a bridge. We're all going to go together, so we'll be safer. And we're going to try to be as quiet as we can. Do you think you can make it all the way there without making any noise?
I can try.
Yeah, I'll try too. We'll try together, okay?
Okay.
What we need is a spell I've never heard of called Pass Without Trace.
Yep.
That I know nothing about. I think we've just got to try good old-fashioned sneaking.
Yep.
Is this family, are these people like reasonably quiet, or are they carrying like all their junk with them so they're like clanking and clunking?
They're quieter than me.
They actually don't have any belongings on them at all.
Right.
Okay.
Renascence, before we go,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a blessing, and I'm going to give him a vigilant blessing, so you'll have advantage on the next initiative check.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I will give myself guidance.
We're going to do this in sort of sections. So from this section to, I would say, maybe the bridge, you can roll a stealth roll, and I will count that towards where you guys are going.
Okay.
And I will give Reya guidance.
Excellent. Okay, what did everybody get for their stealth roll?
Ofelia got a 12.
Holy moly, Hylan got a 28.
Reticence with guidance got a 15.
Okay.
And Corbin got a 14.
Okay. It sort of all depends on Reya now.
She saved us before.
Indeed.
Does she get advantage? Because teenagers are sneaky?
Unfortunately not. She's wearing armor.
No, she's just, I think with a teenager, you're just immortal, is how that works.
It can't happen to you.
She does have guidance, though,
She
right?
does, and so that's another D4, so that may help, but maybe not as much as we'll see. That's okay, so that's a total of 12.
Ooh.
Oof. So that, unfortunately, as a group, is a failure. So that means that although you are walking as slowly as you can, you are occasionally making noises amongst the hubbub and grumble and rumble of the city. Although itself is dead silent in the city as you walk through all of these buildings towards the west. No sound of voices, just this sort of strange vibration through the city. And occasionally, every 3 or 4 minutes, the city does in fact sort of groan almost under its own weight. And you hear just a cracking of earth. Not necessarily near you, but if you can hear it from that far away, things in the city are very, very unstable.
Mm-hmm.
I would like one of the 4 of you to choose who it is that's going to make the next roll.
Corbin's plus 10 on perception, so if it's perception...
It's not that kind
I
of a
don't
roll.
think it's...
Oh, it's just like a see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Okay. All right, Renascence, please roll a d20.
7.
Okay.
That's lucky.
All right. You travel through the streets. Occasionally, those of you who were not as successful in your stealth will clunk and sort of shift your weight and sort of scatter through the dust a little bit, and you see clouds of dust, especially as the city sort of rolls a little bit to the left, rolls a little bit to the right, and there is no sound between any of you. You're trying not to speak. Occasionally, the little girl sort of pipes up. The mother turns back to her and shushes her, and you walk in silence as best you can to a portion of the city, maybe about 3 or 4 blocks from you. And as this occurs, an enormous bolt of blue lightning streaks out from the companion and hits a nearby tower. And this enormous explosion occurs. And the children freak out. They scream. In fact, Harkeena does too. I would like, Renascence, you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, a 4.
Oh, God. No good at all. An enormous portion of the building collapses in front of you, and there is a cloud of dust, and something hits you, Renascence, and you fall to the ground prone. And you take a good amount of bludgeoning damage, unfortunately.
Jeez. Thank goodness you got healed.
You take 5 bludgeoning damage as a enormous piece of stonework hits you and knocks you to the ground. All of you see this cloud of dust, which then settles, and in the rubble, you see under a rather enormous piece of what was once a building, you see Renascence trapped under it.
I run over there.
I do too. Try to push this stuff off of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, try to get it off.
Yeah, he's coated in white dust.
Come on, shake it off.
Do I have any leverage to try to push it off myself?
You're currently sort of restrained, so you can make an ability check to do that. I will say, if everyone else is helping you, you can make an athletics check with advantage.
Corbin, can Ilmata help out with this?
Right, guide him, make him stronger than he already is, please.
Okay. 11.
Okay, yeah, this thing is just too big. I mean, you're trapped under it, and no matter how many people are trying to pull this off of you, it's a good thing that your legs aren't shattered at this point, to be honest.
Oh my God.
Thank God you were wearing armor.
Can we try again?
You feel that at this point in time, if you tried again, you'd just exhaust yourself, but you could if you wanted to. If you fail, then there may be repercussions.
Anybody have any magic that can, move earth or rocks or something like that?
No.
I think if I gave it one more go, I could do it.
Okay. Renascence,
All right.
if you want to do so, you will have advantage. Are you going to guidance him again?
Yes.
Okay. Failure, bad things may happen. Just saying it out loud.
You know what might help me, Ofelia, is if you said something encouraging, you know?
I can do that. I believe in you, Renascence, and your great, powerful strength to crush anything that attempts to crush you.
Yeah, that's good. Talk more about the crushing.
Yeah, you are gonna crush this stone and lift it off of yourself, and I believe in you. We all believe in you. Don't we? Everyone, clap your hands if you believe.
Is it a D6 or a D8?
D6.
Okay, so with everything,
Yes.
that is a 15.
That is enough.
Oh, thank
goodness
God.
for all of you. Yeah, the rock just shifts off your weight and you're able to scoot out from under it.
Oh, cheers, Ofelia. Cheers, Corbin.
Can you stand?
Of course I can.
He can do anything. He crushed it.
Both my knees pop and I get up.
God.
We knew you could do it.
I pat the dust off of him.
Thank you.
Okay. The ensuing noise, obviously, from this enormous encounter has very, very clear, obviously. At this point, if you want to continue to be quiet, totally fine. It's kind of, the jig is up, as they say,
I think
at
we
least
should
from
just-
this part of the city.
maybe
Get
let's
there now.
just proceed at normal pace.
Double time. I think we move.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you guys got to start running. Got it.
I think that's the best, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we should exhaust ourselves. I just think we should not sneak. We should move it like normal pace.
Normal pace is fine.
All right.
So you sort of hop over this roadblock and continue on to the west.
This episode featured the Dungeon Master stylings of Matt Gordon, with Tal Aviezer as Renascence, Andy Cannistra as Painbearer Corbin Shiv, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Carolyn Fox, as Hylan. This episode was edited by me and Tal Aviezer. Our original theme music is by Lauren Anker and Anthony DiMasso. Some sound effects in this episode are courtesy of Syrinscape. Others are courtesy of the Monument Studios Fantasy Pack 1 and 2, and also a wonderful website called freesound.org, where a lot of talented people upload sounds, and many of them are free to use, which really helps people like us. So thank you. If you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. Message us on social media or email us at info@cast-party.com. You can follow us on Facebook at Cast Party D&D, on Twitter at Cast Party 2, or on Instagram at cast_party. Thanks very much for listening and for understanding this week. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode.
That's because Rangers are weak and no one wants to play them, which is not true. No, it's not true.
Bloomstalkers are awesome.
They are.
I know some rangers personally, and they would take offense at that, sir.